Namaste, ladies and gentlemen. Let's continue the topic of pragmatic leadership. So in the last session, we have seen that in the first chapter, which is essentially the introduction, I was trying to explain the concept of maturity and what linkage maturity has got anything to do with the subject of leadership. So going forward, I would like to take you through page number 9, which is essentially, as you could see, there are few diagrams are given here. I will just explain this concept. So we spoke about the personal equity some time back, that whenever we want to grow in our career, so it's extremely important to see that our value creation to the company increases. So as the value creation increases, so we will be in a position to expect certain kind of a bigger responsibility in the company. So because growth is a function of responsibility. If someone is not willing to take responsibility, he cannot grow. So we have seen that the personal equity is also a function of the utility, which we have discussed in detail. Utility means how far this person is able to contribute to the success of the organization by his contributions. Let us take an example of a ship where there are multiple people are there managing the ship. There is somebody in the engine room below or ensuring that the engine is continuously running without any interruption. And there is somebody maybe in the front deck who is ensuring that the ship is being steered in the right direction using the GPS or whatever you call it. So that means for the ship to move and reach its destination, the different people have to contribute depending upon the kind of task they are performing. So unless otherwise all these tasks are performed in the right way, the ship may not be able to reach its destination. So having said that, when you notice the captain, for example, and he is very nicely dressed and very trim and virtually you don't find him doing anything. He is neither operating the engine or maintaining the various mechanisms, or he is steering the ship in the deck or whatever it is. So you may wonder what is the value add that he is really doing it. At some particular point in time, when you raise above in the organizational hierarchy, so your doing content of the job gradually comes down, and you take a bigger responsibility in guiding people and then taking responsibility to ensure the right kind of output is generated by the various people. So that means when you are an individual, like for example, let us take a maintenance mechanic in the engine room, who is a mechanical person who can understand the mechanisms well, and then he can fix the problem when it comes. That is all the small portion of the task that he can do. So that means when any individual is only taking a responsibility of a small part of the whole organization, his value add is limited to a certain extent, because he has got 8 hours or 9 hours of duty, and then that's all he can perform. But the overall organizational development and the future and the success and failure of the company, it requires to the responsibility of senior people. That means at some particular point in time, a person, when he becomes a leader of a group of people, he takes a bigger responsibility. Thereby he is directing people and trying to get the output of that entire group. That means, as you could see in page number 9, I have given a diagram here which you could see, which I have briefly mentioned here. As I said, that when you are an individual in any organization without any people reporting to you, you can only produce a certain amount of output. But when you are taking a bigger responsibility and managing larger group of people, then your output goes up significantly. That means you become a departmental head of a purchase department or a design department, then your output is a summation of all the outputs of your people working under you. So by taking a bigger responsibility, you are really directing the people and getting things done. So that means as an individual, you have got a saturation of your performance. But when you are becoming a leader, then your performance level goes up. And then when you become an organizational leader, as the CEO of the managing director of the company, then your output becomes significantly larger than what it will be as an individual. So it's very important to understand here that our ability to earn more, our ability to achieve better things in our life largely depends on how much responsibility we are willing to take. And thereby your personal equity goes up, your value addition to the organization goes up, and thereby then your value add in terms of your salaries and wages and powers and perquisites also goes up. So it's extremely important to understand that why an individual has to grow his competencies in terms of leading people has got a clear significance that your utility goes up, your contribution goes up, thereby you are able to earn more. So that is what it is. So going forward, how do we upgrade our skill sets? If we have to move towards a competent individual to a competent manager, there is an important aspect that we need to look into it. I'm sure that this has given you some kind of a perspective that why do we need to improve our personal equity to grow in the organization. Thank you very much. I look forward to see you with much more detailed, insightful topics in the coming videos. Take care.